Hello everybody and welcome to episode 17 of Stoneblock. In the last episode, we did some chickens. And yeah, I know I had a room set up and I kind of changed it. And we have these 4x4 things now. And I made a room this big. We have 3 on that side, 2 on that side, 1 here, 1 there, and 2 on that side as well. And what I did in the floor here is really interesting. You might see it as glowstone, but it's actually a fluid display, as you can see up top. And I used some steel scaffolding or steel sheet metal, as you can see right off here. There it is. And then I used the graded steel scaffolding because it looks really nice with some liquid underneath. So that looks really cool. And we did this in a live stream yesterday. So you can catch my live streams on YouTube. I don't know what the exact link is, but you can find it on YouTube pretty simply. If you just click the subscribe button and the notification bell, you can see all the live streams. So there you go. And I moved my chicken breeding setup into here. And I decided to add some drawers here just so I have an easier access to all of the chickens than rather having them in storage crates, which I think is easier. And I can continue adding more drawers. Basically, a 4x4 of these, for example, is the exact same as there. We have a 4x4 of chickens over there in the roosts. And we need a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. So the way I can reach them, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can do 7, 8. And then the last one would be here. We could even bring it over the corner, but I think it's fine if we do it this way. Over like so. And then all I need to do is grab my 2 keys and we can lock them, unlock them, and then quantify them, quantify them. There we go. So everything should be configured. And as we breed more chickens, we can get that going. The chicken stick I can put here on the wall. And I upgraded my breeding setup kind of. We're exporting the seeds into this drawer now, which has the downgrade to just store a single stack because it doesn't need to store much more than that here. And then I have all of these chicken breeders and apparently lag spikes. Hello, there you go. And I'm running just conduits behind it, extracting from that drawer and inserting into all of the breeders. So everything has seeds. And we have refined iron here, which doesn't have, which is I think basically steel is refined iron. Refined iron. I think that that equates to making steel, right? Uses for refined iron. Or does that, looks like it's the use for iron. Interesting. So this doesn't have much of a purpose of making, but okay. I have also the gunpowder chicken being made, but that's just, I've just been leaving that to go. Basically, once it breeds a new one, I just exchange it and toss it in my trash chest. And the way this works is this trash chest apparently, I don't know if it works when you automatically import into it, that it should delete, it like stores an entire chest worth and then it deletes the first item and then the next one and the next one. So I haven't tried importing into it, but basically what I do is I use this as a chest and I import into the trash can. So I could use any other chest or a crate or anything, but I just use this because I had it. So yeah. And also for example, the dyes I mentioned in the stream, but if I can get in here. I'm extracting the dyes into this chest, which is then being extracted out of here. If we get up top, I think. Yeah, over here, and we can get underneath. Here I am extracting, I believe, bone meal, because we have bone meal in one of these drawers. There it is. We have 41,000 now. And over here, I am extracting the lapis, because lapis I want to store in this drawer, which we have 81,000 of. And the rest of the dyes are being stored over here. In my random things, my cyclic magic bean storage, which basically we have quite a bit of. And bone meal there's none here apparently, because if I turn this farm on, the bone meal is gonna accumulate here, and the amount that accumulates here doesn't really matter. And we can always just toss the discs that we have. Actually, we can't really partition this because we would need to extract everything into the system and it would just prioritize the way it would. But that's fine. So that is how we export those. And we can start, also I want to mention, missing texture, but that's okay. We can start setting up ender chests for all of these. I think I might, I'm losing resources as is, or not gaining them even, not really losing them, because this is just gonna keep on producing. and not being imported into the system. So we can add a color-coded ender chest for each one of these walls, and we can then just import into the system. And what I've been trying to do is not cough and lose my voice on video, but that's okay. Excuse me. But I'm trying to organize these in a way where everything that is, for example, in those 16 chickens can be stored in the same like drawer setup that I have. So for example, ingots, I'm going to try and organize those in 2 16s of the chickens. And then the things that I can produce here, I don't know if there's a Certus quartz chicken. Certus, like for example, the Certus quartz chicken, that's not a thing. But for example, I believe we can make, we can make a, possibly not a cobble chicken, but we have a sand chicken. We can possibly make a dirt chicken, but we have a grass chicken, which I don't have grass in here. And we can just grab the grass out of here, because that's going to be made, so we can toss that in here, for example. And then we have, I think black quartz is a chicken, and silicon is a chicken, and stuff like that. So we can, and soul sand, netherrack probably, slime definitely, flint, snowballs. So that kind of stuff we can just import into these drawers, and we still have a few spots up top for compacting things if we need to. And then if there's chickens for anything that I'm making here, for example, the logs can also be imported into here. I think that drawer controller reaches all of these, so we should be good. So that's a thing. And I think today it is time to expand our AE system, because we've been running off of this one single controller for a while now, and I think we're due for an expansion. And also maybe deciding where we want these machines to go, but at least make another set of 64K ME cells. And possibly we can automate the inscribers today. Yeah, that we could do. And expand the controllers. So let me get an idea of where I want to put this, because I think we just want to put it in the back here and maybe not have it visible, or maybe put glass on the side so you can see it. I don't know. I'll decide and we will see where we want to put this. I have a bit of a thing here. It might look like a monstrosity to you, but it's nothing too complicated. What I have is I think it's a 3x3 controller with holes on the inside, basically, because it doesn't really connect. If I put another controller, for example, there, that won't connect and won't do anything. So you need to keep it separated. And what we have here is just each side that is accessible besides the insides, because those are really not important. Because we're not really gonna need more than, we're not even gonna need the amount of channels that we have here, basically. And what I have in here is a flux point, just giving it power. Then I have the dense smart cables that are not located, that was the word that went through my head, that are separated by these cable anchors. And basically what this does, if you put a cable one next to each other, it would connect. And if you take a cable anchor and put it on the side of the cable, it makes it so the cables do not connect on the side. And I did that on the center ones, and then the side ones don't connect that way. And I did that on all 6 sides. Yes, that is the correct number. And I have the smart cables here, so I can see how many of the channels I have filled up. So for example, my main storage here uses 1 for the IO port, 1 for the disk drive, 1 for the crafting terminal, 1 for the access point, and 1 for the security terminal. So that's 5 total. And then over here, I have the mob farm, which uses currently just 2. And I rerouted it a little bit, and it goes here and then comes down here over to this. And then it goes down here as well and goes over to this guy over here that is connected with a priority of 200. I think I should keep the priorities on the drives the same, just so, because I have different items. It doesn't really matter. Like it's just not gonna matter that much. So basically, the way I want this layered is I could use P2P tunnels. Some people might say, why don't you use P2P tunnels? It's cheaper. What P2P tunnels do is basically what you can do is grab a regular cable, and I could even use just the smart cable, doesn't matter, right? A regular cable, this is just smart cable, but we can do this, hold up. Let me show you properly. So P2P tunnel, I think I need a P2P tunnel card, P2P, there's a card of some kind, I think from AE. Let's do, it's a memory card, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Yeah, I don't have the other drawer connected. Hold up. I've been doing some rewiring here, and we need to just take this cable off, which is going to disconnect the cable from the oh, this is the back of the chickens. That's fine. So it's going to disconnect the cable from over there, and I want to exchange all of those for dense cables, just so if I need more than the amount of channels that I have, I can have an easier access to that. So let's just run the conduit over here like I had it before, but I had ME conduits before, so that should be connected. So we now should have gold in the system once it does its thing. Oh, it's not connected yet. Give it a moment and it'll show like 2 channels. Yeah. Okay. So are you now having gold, please? Thank you. So, and then I need just a few more of these cables. Some of these, just so I can demonstrate the purpose of P2P tunnels. So you would take a 32 cable and put some regular cables around it, and then you would have another 32 cable on the end with a P2P tunnel on the edge of it, like that. And then you would take this P2P tunnel and copy it to this P2P tunnel. And they should connect, if I'm not mistaken. This is unlinked, linked output side. So do I need to link this to this? This might not be the way it works, but as far as I recall, this is how it should work. And basically you transfer 32 cables on a regular cable and then just have another one on the edge. But I might be wrong, but like that is how I remember this working. If it's not the case, then it's not the case and I messed up. But mistakes happen. So I just want to run dense cables because dense conduits, because dense conduits are just 4 ME conduits, which is just 2 fluix crystals. Like really 2 fluix crystals and a quartz fiber to get 8 ME conduit is not that expensive. We have fluix crystals for days. This is just quartz powder or Certus quartz powder, which we have in tons of anyway, and just glass. And to make the dense cables, you would need to, for example, this cable, you would need the dense covered cable, which is the ME covered cable. And the ME covered cable is a glass cable, which is 2 fluix, and you get 4. So I get 8 conduits out of that. And I get 4 cable here, and then the 4 cable then turns into, each one turns into the covered cable, and the covered cable can be then turned, where's the recipe, into the dense cable. So 4 of these, so 2 fluix gets me 1 conduit, or 1 cable of the dense variety. And 2 fluix, if they give me ME conduit, I can get 8 of the regular ones, and then 4 of the regular ones turn into 4 dense. So I get 4 more times the cables than that, and they're cheap as hell, and it should be fine. So enough of the rambling. I need to do some more rewiring, i.e. being exchanging those cables over here. If we go down here, I should be able to just pop into here. Yep. We need to, first of all, probably just widen this out so it's a 3x3, just so we have a bit more breathing room, like that. Even though I have the drawers here, which is fine. Okay, and we had the dense thingy come up from here. So let's open this up a little bit as well. This is still needs to be fixed because it's still opened, and I need to fill in the gaps where I had the old cables because the new one is routed right underneath the smeltery pretty much. So then we take the dense cable from here, like that, and we can just run it down to here, and let's just do it over like so. That should be fine. Are you a grass? You're not. So if we bring it over here, we can do the dense, and then I have more dense here, and we can just do like that. And one really cool thing about conduits, you see this is an ME conduit in JEI. I right click it, it's a dense now. So it easily exchanges, so you don't really need to break the conduits to replace these. So let me finish off replacing all of these, and then we can see what else we need to wire to our AE system. While I was connecting things down here, I noticed that we were exporting using an ender chest into this guy, and we can just now add an export bus. I could have done that earlier, but I didn't really think of it. But it's just an export bus with 2 acceleration cards to export bone meal into here, and it keeps up perfectly. So that is all good. I'm just gonna turn this off for now so it doesn't really lower my FPS while I'm recording. And what we can do now is set up an automation system for the processors. So I will need a room for this, and I think we can branch off of this side. Well, we have the controller here, and if we branch off of there, we would need to go down. So we go underneath, and then we go into a problem of running into cables when we need to run them around. So I think behind this and to the left of this, we shouldn't make rooms really, because that will be an annoying part to get around. So we can go possibly down more and go to the left, or actually, what if we go and automate this in a totally different area that is away from my AE, and it should be fine. What if we go here where we have kind of like this factory thing, and if we go down here, we're already started blowing up some stuff, and we can set up a room where we can automate like everything that we need for AE. So being inscribers to set up the processors, and then we need the crystal growth chambers that we can set up for the different growth things. And we can also automate the crushing of Certus quartz dust or nether quartz dust or something for that, and the fluix dust. Yeah, that should be cool. So let's do that here. And I'm gonna go down. I might actually go down right next to here actually. If we do another dig down here, I still need to fix the cables up there, and we can then go digging down here in the center and just fill this in basically. So we can have one pathway going to the chickens, one pathway going to something else, and another pathway going to something else. A little bit of an update here. We have a pathway going down here now, and I set up the inscribers over here. Nothing is configured, and all I did was bring a cable over from here. So we have this 32 channels going to the left here, and we have these 32 channels going to the right here. And I also made some molecular assemblers and interfaces, and we're going to see if we're going to set those up in today's episode or if we're going to do it in the next episode. But at least I want to get this running. And I was thinking of assemblers for auto-crafting the seeds that we need to grow in the crystal growth chambers, but we can do that with just a simple crafter over here in the back. We can just put up a exporter to export sand, fluix, and Certus quartz, and then we can extract all of those into a crafter, craft them into seeds. Also, we need to export nether quartz, redstone, and fluix. Actually, no, and charred Certus to make fluix, which we don't really need because we have fluix in the seeds. So scratch that idea. We need only 2 chambers. One for the pure Certus, and do we need pure fluix? Pure fluix. Like that is only used to make I think officially just the. This is all the recipes that are. It says any crystal of the fluix variety, but I think only the ME controller requires the pure fluix. Everything else can be used with regular fluix. So in all, we just need the 1 chamber, right? Because if we look at seeds, we have the pure nether quartz, which is I think the same as regular nether quartz. So yeah, so we just need the 1 chamber actually. So we can just take all of this off, and let's just set it up a bit smaller. So like that. Over here, go up top, and then over here, go like that. And we can just fill the rest of this with just stone, and we can configure it and make it pretty later. And also cover this up over here. And this up top, and that up there. Okay, so we only need just the 1 chamber. I didn't really think of that, because we just need, because we have fluix in the system, so we're not gonna use more than that for anything, I think. And we're gonna make it faster than we use it, because the only thing we need is the pure Certus for these guys. So let me set up an exporter here. We can do this together. We're gonna need, first of all, a crafter. A tier 1 shall be enough, I think. Where do we want this? If we have that there, we can do this. And then we need to export sand and Certus. So we can do, let's grab a stack of stone out of here. And we're gonna do like so. And then we need sand. Let me clear up a little bit of the inventory space. There we go. Memory cards I don't need. That we don't need. Okay. So sand and Certus quartz. Dust. Oh, we need the dust. That can be Certus dust. Can be made with just Certus quartz, or we can, what gives us the most? Pulverizer. Pulverizer gets us 1. Sagmill gets us 1 as well, I think. And we can't use the grinding balls. Yeah. Yeah, that's just the 1. Okay, so actually, we're gonna grab a sagmill first. And do over here. We can do. Why would we hide the crafter? Like why would that be the case? So let's do the same we had before. So we're gonna do a sagmill, and then the sagmill is gonna go into the crafter, and then the crafter is gonna go into the growth chamber. Okay, so then we need the. I'll configure the wood in a moment. We'll just get to this. So we're gonna export here. Certus quartz. Okay. We'll see if we need any upgrades later, but that's just going to be the Certus. Let's grab some dense cable and just run it down here, just so we have the things. We're going to need a level emitter. One of you. And then we're going to need an import bus over here. Yeah, because we can just import through the side with conduits, so that should be good. And then we need some conduit, and we're gonna grab the Certus quartz out of here and insert it into here. Then we need an export bus over here exporting sand, and we need some cable. And this guy requires power as well. We can add we can give you a conduit over here, and then a flux point in the middle, like that. That should give you power. Then we need another cable over here. And this importer needs a level emitter on a cable, so we need a couple of those. Because the way the level emitter works, you put it on the side there, and then it powers the cable. And we can set this guy if we grow, first of all. Okay, this is super slow, so we need card. We need a couple of these. Just make 16, 18 apparently. And let's make some of you. And we can export with some speed. There we go. Now we need a recipe to take 1 sand and 1 Certus quartz dust, and it will make us this. And we can also give you some acceleration cards just so you keep up. Wonderful. And then we're gonna say another conduit. It's gonna extract always active, insert into here. And that'll do 4. If we do a speed upgrade, it should transfer more than just 4 at a time, right? They'll do stacks up at a time. And this filled up with the thing because we didn't do the thing, remember. There we go. That should be fine. And we're now bottlenecked by this, so we need some speed upgrades into here as well. And this is out of power, so let's do a thingy like so. Actually, we can just go from the back here, like that. And that connects that as well, so we can do an importer bus. We need a redstone card. I know we're doing this on camera, but I want you to learn. So let's grab these, redstone card. Apparently I don't have redstone torches. Redstone card real fast. And we give you this and say active with signal. And over here we're gonna say pure Certus quartz. Over here. Let's say we want 2000 in the system, or 1000 should be enough. 124. So we're going to emit when levels are below limit. And we're going to say active with signal. So this is going to import. And we can give you some acceleration cards as well. There we go. So pure Certus, we can add that one to the, we're almost done actually. So that is growing. This is limited by the speed of the sag mill, which is okay. And we're done. So it's going to only export the rest of these, which are over the limit, but that should be fine. And then it should be stopped without anything in the system, because this, oh, this is going to keep exporting. We can configure this differently. Let's not do the importer. Let's do the export on this side. So let me configure that in a moment. Okay, I have it configured and I set it to 2000 just so we can see it stop. But basically what I did is instead of configuring it on the importer, which means that this growth chamber would be filled with pure Certus because the importer wouldn't import, we're going to filter on the, or we're going to control it on the exporter. And we're going to say this is going to be active with signal, and this signal is going to be active as long as we are below 2000 pure Certus quartz. And that is going to be exporting. We can also slow down the export by a little bit. Let's say just 1. That is going to, if I do that, yeah, the 1 is plenty. And this doesn't matter for the sand, should be able to do it with just the 1 actually as well. And what I'm forgetting is we can use our network tool as a card holder. And then when you click into something, if you have the network tool, you can just scroll your cards out of there. And yeah, now it turned off. So we have the Certus and we have a little bit more because all of these will grow. And it's probably still processing the rest of this, yeah, which is gonna be keep on being made into seeds. So we get a little bit more than 2000, which is fine. And we're gonna use it to make the processors anyway. And we can then just grab a facade. I think I have actually a stone facade from leftover from before, and then we can grab these. I'm gonna need another facade anyway. So that is how it's gonna look. And let me add the wood and make it nice and pretty. Okay, it is now complete. I also made another facade to cover the edge or to cover the conduits even, and it's looking nice and good, and that's gonna make us pure Certus. So let me now automate all of these. I'm just gonna get all the 3 done because it's pretty much the same system. We just need to export silicon, export the right items, so like diamonds, pure Certus, and the and gold, and then we need to export redstone and stuff like that, and that should be easy enough, and then we can just do it on the import and we should be good. Okay, this is all complete now. It looks kind of the same, but it has a few conduits and it has a lot of AE stuff in the back, but basically we're exporting on exporting silicon, not on any channel, but just in here. What I wanted to check was if the inscriber sleeps when it's filled with items, because sometimes machines do more lag when they are filled with items than when they're empty, but this looks like it's sleeping and it should be fine. So they're all filled up with silicon and printed silicon at that, and that is being extracted on the yellow channel and put into here, and on the light blue channel put into here, and then on the cyan channel put into here. So basically this one does diamonds, this one does Certus quartz, and this one does gold, or the gold processors. So then over here, we're extracting gold, making the logic circuits. This is making the printed calculation circuits, and this is the diamond circuit. So that is all exporting. Over here, I have a quartz fiber and a cable. The quartz fiber only transfers power, just so we power the inscribers and give them AE power to work. I could just run conduits into here and have be done with that, but we needed to export redstone anyway, so we're just exporting it through here, and we just put a facade on the top. Which are one of these, which you can make super simply. Just 4 cable anchors surrounding a block you want to make the facade of. And then over here we have the same thing, level emitter. I have this on a 256, this is 512, and this is 124. So that's just the amount of processors we have in the system. And if we look at the processors, we don't have that many in the system because this is not... Why are you not importing? It says active with signal. This is active with signal. Ooh, can I just do that? What is wrong? Oh, aha. These are out of power. Yeah, right. I need to just give them power with a conduit, probably will be enough. If I just do that and that, and then that and that. I thought it was weird that it finished. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can just have the conduit there. That is the case. Okay, because it was done really soon, and I was like, how did it finish that fast? But basically, this is gonna make, we're gonna see the engineering processors stop really soon, and it's gonna make, I think, it's just gonna stop importing, right? When it's 256, yeah, it stops importing. So it imported 1 extra, which is fine. And then the rest is gonna finish up, and we should be all nice and dandy. And I think this is gonna be it for today. We are gonna come back next episode and probably do some auto crafting. We have applied logistics now a bit more set up, so we can have all of the processors. And as we need more of these to craft more of the storage cells and stuff, we can just increase the number on the level emitters and we should be good. But with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. I am hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing to see new videos, and I will see you all in the next episode. Oh yeah, Discord, Patreon. Okay, bye.